Good morning. Today we are going to discuss a topic which is most important for the class 10 CBSE students, that is chemical reactions and chemical equations. I often hear the students saying that chemical equations and reactions, they often make a mistake in the higher classes. They say that the same thing, but I think there is lots of difference between the two. So what is that? First, we will be discussing chemical reactions. Often when we hear the term chemistry, we often think that it is all about reactions and all, but there is a difference between chemical equations and reactions. So chemical reaction, it says, it is a process by which one or more substances forms into a new product. Along with that, it cannot be reversed by physical methods. So what it actually says, that when one or more substances are being added together after supplying heat or by the help of any acid or by any other thing, we get that substances changed into a product. The most easiest example is H2 plus O2 gives H2O. We are hearing this since our childhood. So H2 over here is a gas, O2 is a gas, and what H2O is a liquid. So when these two substances are combined, we are getting a substance which is different from this two. And along with that, it is also said it cannot be reversed by physical methods. There are a number of physical methods which we have studied in class 9, that is magnetism, diffusion, fractional distillation, crystallization. So none of these methods, in none of these methods we cannot change this H2O back to H2 and O2. So these are the physical methods which cannot change a product into the substances that were being mixed or added together to get this new substance. Now, certain factors that are important when a chemical reaction occurs. When a chemical reaction occurs, we see change in state. Change in state means, as I said, these two are gases. I am getting this substance in the form of a liquid. So change of state occurs. Second thing, change in color. Often we see that, suppose I have taken some metal which is colored. After the reaction, whatever the substance that is formed, it's colorless. So often there is a change in color also. Number 3, change in temperature. Yes, for each particular reaction there is different temperature. There is never like that all the reactions can be carried out in room temperature or in normal temperature. No. For each of the reactions, a particular different temperature is required. This thing is very important. And number 4 is evolution of gas. Yes. After each and every reaction, or in most of the reactions, we see that at the end, what we will be finding, that we give a arrow like sign. This arrow indicates that the gas is being released out from the reaction. So these are the 4 factors: change in state, change in color, change in temperature, and evolution of a gas, that we normally see in a chemical reaction. Now, in your book you will be finding, they say lead nitrate when mixed with when added to potassium iodide, a new substance is formed, and this is where lead nitrate and potassium iodide are the substances which are being added together to get a new substance. So this is what chemical reaction we are talking about. Now the next part is about chemical equations. Chemical equations. What is the most important thing over here? Chemical equations. Chemical equation is the representation of chemical reactions by the help of symbols of elements which changes into a product. So mainly the difference lies over here, as we were talking about, like magnesium and oxygen when burnt gives magnesium oxide. So over here magnesium and oxygen are the elements which are being added together to give a product or a new substance which we are calling as magnesium oxide. Along with this, you should also keep in mind, it also tells us the state of the substances. S represents solid, L represents liquid, G represents gas, and AQ represents aqueous. Aqueous means chemical reaction where water is a solvent. So this is a chemical reaction that I have written over here. Now when I am representing magnesium as in its symbol Mg, along with that I will be putting a plus sign. Along with oxygen I will be writing O2, and from here I will be getting magnesium oxide as MgO. So remember, whatever I am writing over here in a chemical equation on the left hand side is the reactants, and whatever I am writing on the right hand side is the product, and the whole thing is being represented in the form of a symbols. What is the significance of this arrow? Number one, it tells us in which direction the reaction proceeds. Means like Mg plus O2, always remember either one or two or more than two reactants. Whenever we are writing this, always there will be a plus symbol. We are not using any other minus, into, divide, nothing. We will only be using plus symbol, and by the help of that it indicates that by the combination of this two we are getting this one, and this arrow tells us that the reaction is proceeding in forward direction. This is what chemical equation is all about. And now the symbols. Magnesium, we know it's a solid substance, so I will be writing S. Oxygen is in the form of gas, so I will be writing G. And MgO, magnesium oxide, is again a solid one, so I'll be writing it S. If I am writing anything like Cu plus H2SO4, it gives CuSO4 plus H2. So over here copper is solid, H2SO4 is sulfuric acid, it's a liquid one, this one is again a solid one, and this one is a gas. So always the reaction chemical equations are being represented by the help of symbols and by the help of an arrow, which indicates that it proceeds in this direction, in the forward direction. And along with that you have to also mention the state of the substance. And whenever you are writing anything or you are reacting with water, you have to